Hi there, Kerry here again with another video with a review of a book for you. If you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the videos of course, and thank you in advance for doing that. Today I am talking about this book, Sam, Zabel and the Magic Pen by Dylan Horrocks. Written and drawn by Dylan Horrocks. It is a graphic novel, as you may be able to see there. It came out about 8 years ago in 2014. Dylan Horrocks is quite a big name in the New Zealand comic scene. Personally, I haven't read anything else by him, and after reading this, I do want to look into his work further, perhaps get his masterwork Hicksville, and looking to see anything else that may be available. Yeah, this one was published, my copy was published in 2015 by Victoria University Press, who seems to be the company that publishes his work here in New Zealand. Now, this book is about Sam Zabel, as you may expect. Now, he's a comic artist in the North Island of New Zealand, and he's hit kind of like hard times. He's drawing a comic for a large overseas comic company, and his heart's really not in it. He's just doing by rote, and he's slowly slipping behind his deadlines, and he's really wants to do his own comics, his own created comics, but he's got like a writer's block when it comes to actually doing anything himself, and he finds himself slipping into fantasy and daydreaming and avoiding his family life. Now, he is invited to fly down to Christchurch, hey, my city, and he attends an academic conference on fiction and comics and what have you. And while he's there, he meets a young woman called Alice, who's a self-proclaimed geek, who's really into comics and what have you, and he has lunch with her, and she shows him a comic she found at a local second-hand shop by one Evan Rice. He's amazed by this comic. He's never heard of that creator before, and it's really elaborately done. And he goes to the same, and she tells him that there's another comic by the same creator at the shop. So he goes to that shop, digs out that comic, buys it, and he happens to be sneezing, and he sneezes on the comic, and then he finds himself magically transported to Mars. But it's not Mars as we know it in our modern scientific manner. It is Mars as seen by Evan Rice back in the mid-20th century. So it's sort of kind of steampunky, Edgar Rice Burroughs type situation with loads of beautiful green women who sees Sam Zabel as their long lost god king, and there are wild warrior men and all sorts of things like floating eyeballs and giant living spaceships. Now, Sam Zabel lives in this strange setup for a while and finds that he wants to get out, and soon Alice appears on the scene, and she tells him that you can transport yourself into these comic settings by breathing on them, giving them the breath of life. So then they encounter Kiki, who's a girl character from a comic who's got like rocket boots and dresses like a schoolgirl, all the cliche kind of Japanese comic stuff. And together they have a bit of an adventure going between comic worlds, and they actually visit Mr. Evan Rice and tell him about his creations. And there's a bit of a moral of the story really that underlies a thing that about retreating into fantasy and how that may affect other people if you use them as objects of your fantasy. So they discover that these comics that you can go into were created by something called the Magic Pen, and they try and track it down, and they come across a gentleman who's been using the Magic Pen for nefarious purposes, and Kiki has been a victim of his, and they retrieve the Magic Pen, and everything's all well in the world. It's quite entertaining. Like I said, there's a bit of a moral going on, and what amused me was a lot of local New Zealand references that one of Evan Rice's heroes uses, like by Rutherford's gun or something, and gets quite thick and heavy with the New Zealand references that overseas readers may not get, but if they are confused, there's a handy section in the back of the book which explains all of the references. The artwork is quite clean lines and flat coloured. It's not difficult to read. It's not as detailed as some comics, but it's, you know, it's on the par with something like Tintin, you know, that type of thing. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a bit lightweight, but the ideas in it are intriguing, and it was just fun to have that kind of local New Zealand angle. I'm definitely gonna, if an opportunity comes away to pick up something else by Dylan Horrocks, I will take that, and see what else he has to say. So that is Sam Zabel and the Magic Pen by Dylan Horrocks. Probably available by order from some of the large bookshops and websites. Not sure if it's still in print, but I know it did get quite a large print run back in the mid-2010s. So that is the review done. So I hope you enjoy the day, and we'll see you next time.